Hello and welcome back to More Talk from More Productions. I'm your host, Cooper Moore, and I'm joined here today by the man, the myth, the legend. Aiden Veranda. Aiden Veranda is joining me on the podcast today. How are you, buddy?
I'm super good. I'm super glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Are you excited?
What are we going to be talking about?
Whoa, swearing? You're the first ever person on my podcast to swear. You'll take that plaque. I think someone else will take that plaque one day. Probably Josh. If he comes on a podcast, he'll be the next person. Number two. So I'll bleep that out, but that's okay. So you're excited? You're excited?
Yeah.
Happy to
Cooper,
be?
can you tell us what we're talking about today?
Well, Aiden, as I know that Aiden's a very big sports person, okay? His favorite sport is basketball, right? I'm joking. Okay. He's one of those people who's a football fanatic. And we're not talking about rugby. We're not talking about NFL. We're talking about football. Why do you like football, Adam?
Well, I was really born into a family of avid football supporters. You know, we're all from Liverpool and we all support that one club. You know,
so Liverpool's your club. I knew that, but the audience didn't know that. So Liverpool's your club.
Yeah, we're from Liverpool in England, and that's kind of where our family comes from.
So it's from your father's side, is that correct, or is it both sides?
It's father's side.
Both sides. That's it. Yeah,
just my father's.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah. So how long have you been supporting football? Where you started at a very young age for Liverpool?
Pretty much as soon as I was born. As long as I can remember, I've always been in a Liverpool jersey like I am now.
Okay.
And it's just how it goes, and I'm super into it now.
Yeah.
You know. I find it hard to get into other sports because I'm so into it. And
you're dedicated to one sport.
Yeah.
I feel the same thing when I'm in like basketball. Like everyone's like, you know, I'm slowly adapting to rugby, like NRL.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard because you got people who know all the statistics and all the we know we're referring to, right? Yeah.
But I need to ask you something though.
Go.
Who's your basketball team and why do you support them?
Mate. You know the best basketball team in the whole world, right? You know what the best basketball team is?
You're about to say Philly.
Philadelphia 76ers. Where's is my jersey in frame? We didn't even put it up. No, well, okay. I have a couple of problems with Philly, but that's good. We're gonna keep on Liverpool, and then we'll go to my basketball. Okay, don't worry. We'll get there. We've got plenty of time. We want to get down to the nitty gritty stuff of Aiden Veranda. Okay, so firstly, favorite player all time. Go.
Oh, favorite player. I don't have a favorite player of all time, but
okay.
I can tell you.
You tell me. Tell me what you're gonna say.
My favorite. Hernan Crespo, Argentinian
Hernan
striker.
Crespo. I've never heard of him before.
He played for the likes of AC Milan. I'm pretty sure he had to spell it Florentina. And he was just a mad dog, you know?
Mad dog.
This insane striker.
Yeah.
You know? He's just everywhere. He won UCLs, he won almost everything, man. Crazy.
Really? Okay.
Thierry Henry, you know.
Any of these Liverpool players?
No, I have not named
that is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I can name one for you right now.
Go.
Steven Gerrard. Homegrown Liverpool talent.
Didn't you show us is his jersey here? No.
His jersey's not here.
No, never mind.
He's retired now. He's now a manager. He actually manages a team in the Premier League.
Premier League?
Yeah.
Where at? What team?
Aston Villa.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Aston Villa. Yeah. You can tell me I'm not a big football player.
He's not. We're trying to get him into it, you know, but slowly it's working.
Well, here's the problem, right? I was a kind of a bit bigger supporter of football and that.
Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah,
years ago.
I was Chelsea, but that was because me and Cooper Schoenhagen used to play FIFA. And he was a shout out to Shawnee, he's going to be on podcast. But Shawnee was a big Chelsea supporter. Yeah. And he's my best friend. So Chelsea.
Yeah, that's happened with Robert, bro. I love Robert.
What's Robert?
Robert's like, I'm going to get into Liverpool soon.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
So I've been tasked with doing that.
Well, the problem with Robert is that he buys all the autographs. So we've already talked about his shopping addiction on the podcast. Imagine him now buying every little bit of Liverpool.
Right. Stuff on their website is $1,000.
Are you joking?
Yeah, it's crazy.
On the Liverpool website.
On the Liverpool website,
where do you get stuff
done? Signed stuff's $1,000 and all that. It goes up, right? Because they have retired players and stuff like Robbie Fowler.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can get jerseys and stuff from there. It's pretty good.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and I assume because football, it's the world sport. I've heard that phrase a couple times.
The beautiful game, they call it.
The beautiful game, the world sport, right? There's a lot more competition to buy this merchandise, buy this stuff than...
It's probably a bigger industry than most sports.
Because like specific, like let's just say NBA for example, right? NBA is very specific to USA. Actually, you know what? NBA is probably a little bit different, only because it's very multi, like different places. Like we got Greece, we got Australia.
There's a lot of international players, but I think.
But football, it's completely the world sport.
Yeah, I'd say so. Like the World Cup's like the most watched thing.
Of course.
Like most watched
billions
sports.
of views. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy, bro. And it's in December this year.
December, where at? Where is it going to be?
Qatar, man. It shouldn't be in Qatar.
Qatar?
Yeah.
Where's Qatar?
Like Middle East.
Oh, is that like Qatar, like is it the hotel, like the airline, Qatar?
Yeah. It's felt like that, yeah.
See.
I think we need
I'm learning.
Test Cooper on his geography.
Oh, no, you don't. You literally, I'm all right. I'll stick to basketball. Geography, basketball, Fortnite. All right? That's how I put it.
Okay.
You like that analogy?
Yeah, right. Lovely.
So, talk to me about this, okay?
About what?
Now, I asked you who your favorite player was, and you gave me a couple of players, right? Now, this is a different question. It doesn't have to be favorite. It doesn't have to be anything, right? Who is the best player and best football player? And I'm going to say Premier League, okay? Because
best like ever or current?
Let's go current right now. Let's just say
right now, best Premier League player. That is an insanely hard question.
I know. I would imagine. Okay, so is there a way we can break it down for you? Because I have no idea how to break it down for you. Like, could you go best striker? Could you say most goals
by position?
You could like what? How would you want to break this down?
I don't know, because like immediately when you hear best, you're thinking a couple players. You're thinking KDB, Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay.
Thinking N'Golo Kante. You're thinking
Sui.
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Sui. Yeah. Sorry, I was watching Speed before. Yeah. Yes.
You're thinking like Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah. You know, all those world class players. You know, Heung-min Son. But I would say you could probably base it on consistency. So like,
okay,
I reckon Kevin De Bruyne is the best Premier League player at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no idea who he is, so that's fair. That's
just this world class, like
world class.
He's got this vision that like no one else has really.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe besides like Thiago, but it's like a thing you can't teach.
Of course, that's fair.
Like it's such a well-rounded player, you can pretty much do anything.
Yeah. Now I've got another question for you. Okay. Now this is quite kind of specific to me because you know my history with basketball teams, right? Like I've grown to different sides because of different trades and whatever. We'll get to that later. Now, what version of Liverpool, because that's the only team you supported, what version of Liverpool was your favourite? What, like, was it like an era, for example?
We're actually in an era right now. This is my favourite.
This is your favourite era right now?
It's probably the best Liverpool team to ever exist.
Makes sense. Okay, yeah. Talk to me about that.
So, really, in like 2015, we appointed this new manager named Jurgen Klopp, and that's where it all began.
Okay.
We had this like huge, like the 2000s, like all the way. You know, we had some insane players.
Yeah.
But like we hadn't really like struck gold. We won the Champions League like twice in that time or once in that time. Yeah, so we didn't really have that like super strong squad, but then as soon as Klopp comes in, there's this whole new demeanor about the club, and you know, we're appointing this like such an insane like scouting system.
Yeah.
You'd find like players that you've never been heard of before, and they become world class at
Well,
Liverpool.
that's the thing, because it's the world sport. There's so many options to find talent, which makes it like it's okay for example, other sports, right? Like NRL, for example. Okay, now there's clubs, and those clubs are feeder clubs, like the Rhinos, Rouse Hill, and all these places like Parramatta or Penrith, right? Like those, that's how you mainly find talent. They grow up through the system.
Yeah, the youth.
Whereas, well, like world sports like this, like you could literally just find a street baller.
Bro, Messi was literally on the street around a plastic bag.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
you don't.
I think apparently
There's like,
allegedly.
It's not just feeder clubs. It's just pure talent or untamed talent.
Well, you see, the thing is with football, they're actually always bringing up youth because they've most of the clubs, like genuinely most of the clubs have youth academies and stuff, and they bring up like I can give you an example of Trent Alexander-Arnold, generational right back, bro. I've never seen anything like it. Like he's different. He's got aimbot and he's a right foot, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, dead set.
Man gets an assist for days.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's all these different clubs, you know. Some of them have really good ones, some of them have pretty poor ones.
Oh, I understand. Yeah.
Like Chelsea have one of the best. They produce Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah.
Yeah.
You know, but they have a problem when it gets to the after bit. They can't really find that talent to fit into their squad.
Okay.
These world class players, and they leave, and then they find fame somewhere else.
I understand. Yeah. Now, I've got a question about this, right? this is more for people who have no idea about football, okay? Now, there's Premier League, right?
Yep.
Isn't there another league under it?
Yeah, so there's divisions. There's a lot of divisions.
Okay, but like, is that the Champions League under the Premier League? No.
No, that's called the Championship. I know you can get them confused, but...
Okay, can you explain? Because I was watching Ted Lasso, okay, and they got relegated. And relegating...
Relegated, they go down to another division, and promoted, they go up to another division.
Okay, can you explain the whole concept to me? Okay, take
The
as
whole
much...
concept
well,
of
explain
relegation and promotion?
Yeah, relegation, that, and explain to me, like, Ted Lasso terms, right? Didn't they, like... was in the highest like rank and then got dropped to another league.
So they're in the highest division, yeah. Which is the Premier League in England, right? We'll use England as an example.
England,
so Premier League, and then the league below it, you have the Championship. So say you're a club in the Premier League and you're in the bottom 3.
Okay.
You'll be relegated down to the Championship.
Okay.
And you can be promoted the next season if you can get automatic promotion, or you can fight in a playoff for a promotion.
Yeah.
And what it is I think the first person gets the first team gets automatic promotion in the Championship.
Yeah.
And then a couple of the ladder down, there's
second,
a playoff,
third, fourth,
there's 2 semis and there's a final. And then
they get relegated, they
get get promoted.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how that works.
And
they can go even further. Like it's happened to, I don't know, Swansea went from the Premier League down to like League 1, I think, or League 2.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Because I was, of course, Ted Lasso has my knowledge of football. I'm still trying to learn. They got demoted, they got promoted. It's all that kind of stuff. But then it was also the comparison of like American sports and that if you suck, you suck, and then there's no let's go NRL terms. West Tigers. I'm sorry, like. There's no relegating. They don't go to the bottom. They just
get a wooden spoon.
They just get there. Like New Zealand Warriors. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like,
and then they wait, and then 5 years they're back.
The 5 years they get the youth. They get someone come back. Yeah, exactly. That's what I found. I found that whole like idea of that a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then you go even a step further, and there's competitions in like Europe and stuff.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
So they just added the third one. So there's like 3 tiers. You'd say. You'd have Champions League, Europa League, and then EUCL. I can't remember what it stands for. Like,
okay.
But it's like the top 4
in
each of the top 5 leagues in Europe.
Yeah.
They'll go into the Champions League. The one below, so the 5th spot goes into the Europa League.
Okay.
And then below that is the EUCL.
Okay.
And what it is they go into it's a group format at first, and then the top 2 of the group. So we'll say Champions League, top 2 of the group. They will go into the knockout stage.
Okay.
So there's like, I think it goes all the way to the final. Like the draw and shit. They can't get teams from their country.
Yeah.
So that's the rules. You can't get teams from your country.
Okay.
In the group stage and in the first round, but then beyond that, you can get like say Liverpool versus City.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you come third in that group, you'll be dropped down to Europa League. Same thing for Europa League. You'll be dropped down to.
What do you think about Australian Football Society?
I think it's very poor.
Yeah. Let's just talk about the elite development, and then let's talk about fan supporting. And okay, also
two very different things.
And I also want you to touch base on game times, if that makes sense. You know what I'm talking about? Like how if we want to have a football night, Aiden's like, "Oh, guys, you have an early game." I'm like, "Yeah." We're like, "Oh, what's it?" Yeah, yeah. It's like 9:30 p.m. early game. I'm like, "Oh, you suck." Please talk to me about the whole concept, okay? So, elite performance.
Elite performance in Australia?
In Australia, like the development.
Australia, you don't really see many like people go out of Australia and like get insanely world class. Like I could name like
a couple. I can
Aaron
name a handful.
That's literally it. Like in recent times. That's all I can tell you. Now he's even in China. He was in the Premier League for 1 year, and then he's gone.
Yeah,
Huddersfield. But really, what it comes down to is it's not improving because I think they have like a maximum of overseas players that they can get like per club.
So is that like an actual clause? Like they can't have to get particular overseas? Okay, well that definitely makes it a little bit harder because that means their choices of overseas players have to be like very specific.
But they'd be like, oh, homegrown talent. Not really. It's not improving because we're not getting better players from overseas in.
Exactly.
And if that was to happen, then there'd be a lot more players. You'd be seeing like, oh, this Aussie kid in Germany is doing well.
Because of course, there's actual football fans in Australia that support Australian football, like Sydney FC,
Sydney, Western Sydney,
all that kind of stuff.
Brisbane.
But it's not really. I don't think that's really that.
It's not massive. Like in terms of NRL would smash it.
Oh yeah, but NRL's Australia's. Sorry,
it's like an Australian sport. See, exactly, it's Australian sport, but like we can't get these overseas like things because it's not entertaining. Yeah. Even though it's like very like in the swing of things, the league, like the A-League itself, it's not exactly like insanely difficult to win.
Yeah, exactly. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. All you need to do is buy a couple good players and you're good.
Exactly, because it's one of those.
It's very.
I understand where you're coming from that.
But they do have a final, so then it's like it evens it up.
Yeah. Now let's talk about supporting and fans and all that. And I'm not talking about Australian League because we'll
talk about Australian League for like 1 second. It's actually pretty good.
Okay, talk to me about it.
I think if it was more like insanely difficult to like
get in
derbies and stuff, like more derbies. Even though there is like Melbourne Victory and City, I think it would be better if it was more like competitive.
Yeah.
The league overall.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff, and it'd be super good. But then you go overseas and it's a completely different story. Like South African teams and stuff. Like even them, they're crazy. Like over there.
Yeah.
South American, you got
everything.
Everyone in Argentina and stuff, they're all going crazy for it, man. They kill people for it. Like
really?
Even in Scotland, bro. There's I don't know if you were there for it. Oh no, wait. There's these two teams called Celtic and Rangers, and they're like split. They're in Scotland, and they're split via religion. So Rangers is Catholics, and then
Celtic is that an actual thing?
Yes, it's a thing, and people die over it, bro. Like people get stabbed.
I can imagine, but like that's not just
they're
soccer.
Crazy. They're genuinely like insane.
Oh my god, I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
You can ask Josh, bro. Josh is a Celtic supporter,
and it's pure like
you'd be like, oh, I'm a Catholic, face punching.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a Rangers supporter.
I just find it so, that's like, it's not just about football then.
It's not just football, but it's based, like, football is such a big part of it.
I just know that as soon as one person wins, it's like,
Yeah, they're both going to be at their necks.
Exactly.
No matter what.
Now, let's talk about fans. Like, I'm talking about people like you.
People like me.
Wait up 12 p.m. at night, 1 a.m. at night. Talk to me about that whole concept of, is that very common in Australia, and is it very important?
I think it is pretty common in Australia. You ask people, oh, who do you support? You occasionally get, I don't support it, but people you do, like I could name, like most of my friends do, right? Like it's all good and that, but it's like waking up on the day of a test at like 1 a.m. You're not going to do it. So, and there's a different thing to like watching a game live than watching the highlights.
I 100% understand, because when you don't know what's going to happen when you watch a game live, but like a 10-minute highlight on KO, like it's definitely not the same. Because my brother, what team does my brother support? I couldn't tell you, but my brother watches Premier League, watches all that, and he Optus Sport.
Optus Sport. That's what we watch it on as well.
And he will sometimes like watch. I think he's a Man United fan. I know. We won't talk about that, but. Purely like waits up at 12 p.m. waits 12 a.m. waits
12 p.m. is good. You don't understand, like 12 p.m. is a good time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, most of the games this season for Liverpool, like I know Liverpool because I've actually looked and properly looked, like 2 a.m. straight. There's like 6 games in a row, 2 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 a.m. And sometimes they're in like midweek as well.
Yeah, because me and the boys.
Yeah,
Aiden's very gracious. We have football nights.
Football nights, we call them, and we get together. We all have
Rick's Pizza. I'm gonna tell you something, but keep talking about the night because this is so exciting. Actually, this is so exciting. I'm about to cry.
Why? What is it?
Rick knows about the podcast.
How?
Everyone sent it to him. Rick's family knows about the podcast. Rick saw the podcast. Rick saw the video of
Rick,
me.
You bloody legend.
Rick saw the video of me going.
You goddamn supply our nights of fun.
Whoa! Oh yeah, you do that for us. You make us happy. Because the little TikTok of us going. Rick's restaurant had love you, buddy. #1 pizza because I was defending it against George's.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the teachers, because the family friends, sent it to Rick. And
he actually saw it, like
his whole family was like, "Oh, we love that. That's so awesome." And I think I saw one of them. I think one of them commented because I was like, oh, that's very specific how they commented. I was just because the comment was like, we appreciate you, bro. And I was like, huh. We sounds like something like, I don't know, like a worker or someone. I don't know why. It just sounded like.
Yeah, it sounds like they're affiliated.
Oh my God. So he knows about it, which makes me so
crazy,
happy.
Bro.
So we'll have a podcast with Rick. Take the equipment to the restaurant.
A podcast in Rick's.
A podcast in Rick's while eating Rick's. And he literally brings out pizza. Oh, we need to do that. I'll organize that. 100th podcast special. Go to Rick's.
100th.
Yeah, we have 97 podcasts to go.
Hell yeah, I'm in.
I'll book out. We'll book out the restaurant.
Give me the date.
Give me the date.
I'll
buy 6 mics. I'll buy 6 mics. I'll get it all sorted. Okay, we're going.
Get all the boys.
Get all the boys.
We can get Rick
we'll
on there.
Pizza, and we'll talk to Rick about his home.
We'll buy it out of the restaurant, mate.
So Rick knows about podcasts. That's incredible, and I love that so much. But let's get back to one quick thing.
Back on topic.
Get back on topic, all right? Even though that's the best topic ever. Back on topic. Sport teams. Now we're gonna move away from football, okay? Because we love football. I'll get back into it. I'm gonna say one thing. I was gonna say I was a PSG fan only because it's sponsored by Jordan, but I'm not gonna be a PSG fan only because I kind of need to have a team. I just I have to have something.
They don't win everything.
Yeah, I can't just join that because I've got my team Storm and I defend that with my heart. But I can't do that. I can't just be like,
yeah,
Man United, because Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey, can't do that. Anyway, favorite sports team besides football? Go.
Favorite sports team besides football? I like Miami.
Miami what? Miami Heat. Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy.
What?
Jimmy Harden.
Was it James Butler?
James Butler.
Yeah, no, okay, so
I think. Who cares?
But me, okay, firstly, we'll get into this joke. So me and Josh were talking to Aiden, and me and Josh were like, oh, Aiden doesn't know anything about Miami. I'm going to test him. And then Josh was like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, hey, Aiden, how do you reckon James Butler went in the third playoff round? And then Aiden's like, oh, yeah, James, he was really, really good. He shot some.
No, I don't think I said that.
You were like,
I think he said someone's name, but and then I realized after I was like, that's not his name.
Exactly, that's what happened.
I thought it was similar.
And then me and Josh were like, we gotcha. And then now thinking about it, it's like, no, you didn't. I said James Butler.
I don't know anything about basketball.
But he is a Miami fan. I'll vouch for him. Okay,
I actually haven't watched it since then.
Oh, we have to have a proper NBA
playoffs.
Yeah, well, when the playoffs, I think it's already has to wait for a while. Well, once it starts up again, we'll be December. It stops. No, December's the mid because it has the All-Star game and everything like that.
Should watch the World Cup too in December.
Why not? We're gonna be graduated.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Okay, I want to talk about NBA, but I've got a whole other topic I want to talk to you about later.
What?
Okay. No, I will talk about it later. Okay. But NBA. All right. I'm gonna talk to you why I chose my teams. Okay.
But why did you choose?
Thank you for asking me.
Philly.
Aaron. I chose Philly because of 2 reasons. One, Ben Simmons, an Australian basketball player who is my idol, my favorite basketball player of all time. And this is cringing me thinking about it now. Favorite basketball player of all time. Played for the Sixers. Drafted, Australian, Melbourneian born. Great person. Loved them. Loved him. Loved. Past tense. Anyway. He went to Philly, right? My brother, I don't think supports it now, but I think he did support it, and I think he was a big influence, my brother, about Ben Simmons. So, boom, became a Philly supporter. Starting getting a little bit obsessed with it. Knew all the players. Knew actually think we could win. Haven't won because every time we go to a playoff, someone injures himself. Joel Embiid injured himself every time. Ben Simmons, whatever it is, right? So that was my team, but. Ben Simmons decides to not shoot as a point guard. I'm just sorry. This is 1960, okay? Point guards are supposed to shoot now, not 1960 where they didn't do anything. They're supposed to shoot now, okay? And I think care. You're shaking him. No, I don't care. Okay, people can't shoot. I can't shoot. I'm not judging that. I don't care about that, right? But when he decides, when he decides to not shoot a layup because he knows he's gonna get targeted for a foul. Then he has to shoot free throws. He decides to not shoot the ball, pass it to Matisse Thybulle, and then he got the foul and he had to shoot the 2. Everyone saw it. He gave up that shot and cringed me a bit. Whatever. That's not the point. Okay. A lot of people bullied him for not shooting. And well, how would that make you feel? You couldn't shoot after that, right? If everyone said you can't do it, like so many people said it, right? So he didn't, whatever. But then here's the kicker. After all that, he's not playing anymore.
He got dropped?
No, he didn't get dropped. He dropped the team. He literally said...
So he just stopped turning up?
Exactly right.
So did they like cancel his...
Oh, we're going to get into this because he sued the team, but whatever.
He sued the team?
Anyway, it's a topic. We've got plenty of time. We're going to talk about this, okay? Ben Simmons decided, no, I don't want to do this anymore. So then he didn't show up to practice anymore. Didn't show up to practice. So then... No, sorry. He showed up to practice, wasn't with it. Like, didn't do it. Like, didn't, go with the flow. Wasn't going at 100%. And was having a big attitude, right? So guess what Doc Rivers did? He's the coach.
What did you do?
Simmons, you're out. Like, you come to work or you, don't train. So then
that makes sense because if you're a coach, you want your team to perform. You want to compete.
Exactly. So
it's the NBA. It's not.
So he's trying to. Guess what Ben Simmons did? He walked out, and he didn't train. He didn't train, and he did not play a game, and he did say that he had injuries, and I'm not going to deny that people have injuries, right? But there was definitely a period of time where it was more psychological, didn't want to play than injury or like small pain that people could play through, like Kobe Bryant played through a dislocated thumb or dislocated finger during his playoff game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So he didn't show up, right? So then what did Philadelphia do? If they're paying $193 million for a 5-year contract for a Ben Simmons who's 22 years old, they didn't pay him for the games he didn't play. They fined him for the games he didn't play.
Makes sense,
right?
But it wasn't in the contract, right? So then he could sue.
Ben Simmons didn't like that. Ben Simmons says, no, I deserve to be paid. And then everyone's like, no, you don't. You didn't play for us. Why are we going to pay you? So then he gets traded to Brooklyn. After a big thing, he gets traded to Brooklyn and James Harden comes to Philadelphia, right? Very good choice. I wasn't 100% on James Harden, but I'm happy with that. He plays the ball. That's right. When's the Brooklyn Nets? Everyone's thinking, you know what? Ben Simmons, that's what he had to do. He had to go there, whatever.
He's going to perform.
He can perform. Hasn't played a game yet.
When did he get traded?
He got traded before the NBA Finals.
So
he has not played a game.
Months
ago. James Harden got traded from Brooklyn, made his eligibility to play into the Philadelphia, which would have been hard because he literally got traded almost when the playoffs began. He played his games, did what? Ben Simmons still hadn't played a game. He literally did not play a game. He had a sore back. So he's now siphoning up their contract from Brooklyn and getting all that money and still hasn't played a game. Not training, buying Ferraris and doing all this stuff and boasting about it, but not training.
It'll come back to bite him. It
has to come back. But then Ben Simmons has now sued the Philadelphia 76ers for $20 million.
What?
Which is a very small increment of his paycheck that he would have received.
That's a lot of money for the club.
Well, he was going to get $193 million anyway. So
yeah, but they'd probably estimate profit.
Of course. $20 million. In the whole scheme of things, it's a lot of money. But in the whole scheme of it, though, it's a very small price to pay because I didn't want him to get... he could have got the full amount.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, that's why I'm Philly. But the reason why I moved to Philly, because that was only recently, not recently, a couple of years ago when I moved to Philly, I was a Clippers fan. But the best version of Clippers. You know why?
Old school.
It was kind of old school. It was DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, or Lob City.
Yeah, shut up about this.
It was the most talented league ever. Lob City. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But then they traded away Blake Griffin to Detroit.
Yeah, it's a bit old.
And then Chris Paul got injured. And they traded DeAndre Jordan to Dallas Mavericks.
What are you doing?
Okay, so you traded away your whole franchise.
Did they at least bring in talent or not?
They bring in talent, but young talent. They're trying to build a future. It wasn't good enough. They were bottom of the bottom of the board. They weren't that good enough. They might have bring a couple of key players, but nothing I wanted to be with. Right, like that. Had all right. I moved to Philly. Clippers got good then. They got Tobias Harris, Montrezl Harrell. It was not a star player lineup, but it was like it was a city that wanted it. Like they were going for it. Right. They made it to I think the conference finals. Dropped it. That's fair. Whatever. And then they got Kawhi Leonard, and then they got Paul George.
Yeah.
So now they're a stacked lineup. But I still don't want to touch them because Lob City was my home. That's why. I know I had a very long rant, but that's why I meant Philly, and that's why Lob City. I'm so sad about that.
Yeah, I think we triggered you. Something set off in you.
It's Ben Simmons, bro. He was my favorite player. Now he's my least favorite player. I can't take him. Oh, and Kawhi Leonard's my least favorite player as well.
Why?
Game 5 of the 2020 NBA finals. It was the conference finals. Raptors versus Philadelphia. It was at the buzzer in the fourth quarter. Raptors were down by 2 points. 2 points to tie the game. Kawhi Leonard was like a couple seconds. Kawhi Leonard dribbled the ball to the 3-point line. He got past the ball from the middle of the court, swinged it, dribble. Joel Embiid all day, like the best defense he could play. Step back, threw the ball from the 3-point line. It literally went tap, in. He got a 3-pointer and won the conference finals in Toronto. I didn't want to shoot myself more than ever watching that live.
So you had to play for being good.
Huh?
You had to play for being good.
I hate him because he could have just got a 2-pointer. Why did he have to step back 3-pointer? And why did it have to go? Because Josh sends me this one photo randomly all the time.
Josh.
All the time. And it's Kawhi Leonard sitting in the corner of the court, like crouching with his hand like that. And then it just everyone just knows that photo triggers me. And then Joel Embiid is looking at the ring. And I just know that was like one of the harshest moments of my life because we were doing so good. Oh, that just made me
Sometimes it just happens, though.
It happens because you probably experienced that.
Oh, yeah, I have, mate.
Yeah? Any particular moment that you just experienced? Which was
finals, bro. Finals.
Yeah? Lay it on me.
It's happened twice, the same team.
Yeah?
So it happened like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah?
To Real Madrid in the UCL final, bro.
Okay.
Like, the first one was a shocker. We lost like 3-1 or something.
Yeah?
They did kind of cheat, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah, all that stuff.
And we lost to a 1-0 tap-in like the 60th minute.
Okay.
Like the other time. But the difference is, the first time we lost it, the next year we came back and won it.
Okay, so you redemption. You got redemption.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then we had after that we had an injury season, and it was horrible, bro. Like usually you don't go out of like max probably 5 centre back partnerships.
Okay.
Right? We went through 16. We had to bring people from the midfield into the centre back because we had all of our centre backs injured.
That's not good.
And then they got injured too. So random players would have to come in, and it ended up having to bring 17-year-olds and stuff. Really? Yeah, it was.
How young can a premiership player be? What's the youngest? Is it 16 or 17? Because I thought I've seen 16-year-olds.
They may have been even 15.
Really?
I think there has been in some case.
Well, that would only be debut stuff, like
debut, yeah, and they wouldn't be regular starters.
I can imagine, if they can really see talent in 15, 14
it'd be around 19 that they'd start coming to the
actual thing
for first 11.
Because I know that you bring the very raw but amazing talent 15, 16-year-olds into basketball games. You put them in the bench development players, and they just get used to playing at such a high level. That when they get to 17, 18, 19,
it's a mindset thing.
100%, they need to put in a mindset. But then sometimes the coach is like, oh, we're winning by 3 or winning by 4. And the 10th minute, the last 10 minutes, they just chuck them on.
Yeah, chuck them on, give them a bit of experience. That's what they do in football too. Last 10, 15. Depending on the score, they'll put them on.
Yeah, depending on how harsh it is. And okay, if it gets a little bit risky,
it's risk and reward. That's what it is.
Sub it out.
It's exactly what it is.
Because in terms of just an idea, if it'll be so good to give that person that reward. If they're doing really well, they can be the youngest player, or they just have their Premier League debut. That'll be incredible.
Yeah, it's happened with so many players.
Yeah.
They come up to the academy or they get bought from somewhere and they're young. Like Fabio Carvalho.
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott, Alexander Arnold came in when he was to the starting lineup when he was 17, I think.
Okay.
And he's played every game since.
Yeah. Now talk to me about this person, okay?
Who?
No, not this person. This whole idea, because we're moving away from football.
Yeah.
We're graduating in like 30-ish days. I don't give you the full number.
Something like that.
What is our 3-month holiday going to be like?
I don't know. I don't know what to expect after school, bro.
Because we graduate, so we have basically 5 weeks of HSC.
Yeah.
So we finish in November-ish, or maybe a little bit earlier.
November.
I'm early November.
So am I.
I think PD is like 3rd of November.
I can't even remember what's the last, but I just know.
But yeah, what are you planning doing for the 3-month holiday? Because you can get to uni, you can do whatever you want. That's up to you. But
yeah, well, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think we're going away, aren't we?
Us. Well, this is the problem with school is it's just like, firstly, who can afford it? Some people in a group don't have jobs, can't afford it.
How are we going to get there?
I think that's been the kicker, because we only have...
We don't have that many people.
We don't have many people, or people who are confident to do it. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, drive hours.
That's the problem with school is, bro, is there's so much more to plan now. Like...
It's not like we have a full licenses as well.
That's why the Gold Coast is such a thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, you just fly up there.
It's all there. But it's just, if you go to Gold Coast,
it's walking distance as well.
It's walking distance. You have those things. That's the whole ideal about it, is that it's all there. It's a lot of money, but it's also you're paying for less planning hassle.
Yeah, you don't have a problem.
And we found a place that we liked, but now we couldn't decide, so it's all booked out now. It's only a 3-day gap there, so we're not going to do that place anymore. But we have to work out what we want to do then pretty soon. Like almost, we should have already done it.
Sure.
I'll have a barbecue at my place. We'll get it done, or we won't do it, and you just figure it out and whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Because we're gonna have parties, we're gonna do stuff, something. But like if you want to have school, you have to do it very soon because everyone has we have to save up money for it. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah. It's in December though. Kendrick Lamar concert.
Are you going to Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, bro. I got mosh pit tickets.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, I'm going with the boys.
You going to boys? Yeah, that'll be fun.
Go with the boys. It's super good. I'm super excited.
You are?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of TikToks of
so have I.
his concert with Baby Keem.
It looks crazy, bro.
I love Baby Keem.
So do I. Kendrick are my favorite.
I can't believe that Baby Keem is like
cousin.
Is it what?
Cousin.
Is he a cousin?
Yeah, I think.
Something like that. Well, like he's there. He's like he's like
family. He's within the family.
That's ridiculous.
It's stupid, and they're both very talented.
They are both very, very talented.
Yeah, and
it's not just like one person goes and the other person like waits a little bit. It's like they're both together a bit. You know what I mean? Like they both perform together.
They both produce for each other. I think.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Really, I know Kendrick has a lot of influence on Keem.
Yeah,
and I do know that.
Well, Aiden, thank you very much for being on More Talk. We've had the longest podcast so far. Congratulations, bro. High five. So I want you to look to the camera and shout yourself out. Give your IG. And yeah.
You know what? Let's shout Cooper out.
No, they already know our stuff. My stuff's going to be in bio. Your stuff.
It's fine.
I'll put his IG.
Okay, he's going to do it for me.
I'm going to do it for you anyway. Just say it.
No, you do it.
Okay, his Instagram is at aa.veranda, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. To be honest,
you don't even know your own IG?
Yeah, no, because it changes, like it varies.
Oh, you have a bunch of changes. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, follow Aiden. He's been a great podcast guest. One of my favorites. We only have 3, but one of my favorites. Okay, top three. It's been an actual pleasure. Third. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for watching More Talk or listening through Spotify and More Talk. Please subscribe to YouTube channel, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and listen to us on Spotify. Again, we have a Spotify there. It's very exciting. You'll get to hear Aiden's luscious voice when you're working out or something. How incredible that is.
Get that pumping, baby.
Oh, jeez. No, that's illy.
We'll see you next time.
And stay classy, San Diego.
All the crazy shit I did to you.